Welcome, everyone, to Truth and Freedom Podcast, where awakening begins with asking the question most people are afraid to ask. I'm your host, Dr. Amzallag, and this is not just another podcast. This is a journey into awareness, courage, and truth. Now, there's a version of you, younger, innocent, maybe even scared, who once needed comfort and didn't get it. Someone who needed to feel seen, heard, protected, or believed, and didn't. And here you are now, older, wiser, stronger, and still carrying echoes of that unmet need. Now, healing isn't about erasing that pain. It's about becoming the person that younger you needed back then. It's about giving yourself now what you were denied before: patience, compassion, and love without condition. Now, we often chase people, accomplishment, or validation trying to fill that old void. We think success, attention, or relationship will finally make us feel just enough. But that's a misunderstanding. No one can fill a space that was built for your own love. Only you can do that. Becoming who you needed means learning to mother yourself, to father yourself, to guide yourself with kindness instead of criticism. It means catching the voice in your head that says, "You're doing enough," and replacing it with, "You're doing your best, and that's enough for today." It means forgiving yourself for the things you did to survive when you didn't know better. When you start showing up for yourself consistently, with gentleness, with truth, that's when the healing begins. Because the wounded child inside you doesn't need protection or perfection. It needs safety. It needs reassurance. It needs you to stop abandoning yourself the way others once did. Sometimes we think healing means confronting those who hurt us. But real healing happens the day you decide their behavior no longer defines your worth. It happens when you stop reliving the story and start rewriting it, not from pain, but from understanding. Ask yourself, who did I need when I was younger? What did I need to hear? And what did I need to feel that I never got permission to feel? Then become that exact person. Be the listeners you never had. Be the encourager you longed for. Be the protector you deserved. Now, because when you begin to nurture yourself like that, you stop chasing love through others. You begin to live it from within. And that changes everything. Healing doesn't mean the past disappears. It means it stops controlling you. It loses its power to dictate your choices, your relationship, and your self-image. You stop reacting from old wounds and start responding from wisdom. Now you begin to understand that your pain was never your identity. It was your teacher. It shaped your empathy, your resilience, your purpose. But it doesn't define your destiny at all. The truth is, every time you choose kindness towards yourself, you're reparenting that younger you. You're telling them, "You're safe now, you're loved, and I've got you." And that reassurance rewires everything. Now, the world teaches us to toughen up, to move on, to forget, to be strong. But strength isn't about pretending you're fine. It's about having the courage to meet your pain with compassion instead of judgment. When you finally sit with your younger self in love instead of shame, you begin to heal generations of silence. You stop passing the pain forward and start passing peace instead. So today, I want you to pause and ask yourself, if I could speak to my younger self right now, what would I say? Would I criticize them? Or would I thank them for surviving what they did with the tools they had? Because that version of you didn't fail. They endured. And now your job is to take it from here with gentleness, with honesty, and with intention. Now, becoming who you needed doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily decision to speak to yourself kindly, to set boundaries that honors your peace, and to walk away from what hurts and to choose what heals. Every time you choose self-respect over self-neglect, you're telling your past you didn't win. And every time you choose truth over avoidance, you're telling your inner child, "I'm here now. You can rest." Now, the past doesn't need to disappear for you to move forward. It just needs to be integrated with love. Because healing isn't about forgetting. It's about remembering differently, without pain, without shame, but with gratitude for how far you've come. So become who you needed, not just for the child you were, but for the adult you're becoming. Because when you start loving yourself the way you always deserved, you finally step into the freedom you were always meant to find. Stay tuned for more truth on our next episode.